All right, so I started the recording of this session. So what we're going to be looking at today is strategic events. And I said that strategic events are very crucial to what we are doing in getting our school known out there. It is very, very important to take what makes us unique and convert it into strategic events that announces our school. It is very important. And when I'm talking about strategic events, I am not talking about uh, umbrella day, color day. I'm not talking about those things. I'm talking about events that showcases what makes your school different from every other school in that environment. So many people are still joining us now. So let me share my screen. Let me share my presentation so that we can be able to understand it better. Let me go full screen so that I hope we can see this presentation. I hope we can see this presentation. Zai will be, I want to go live with a presentation. Okay. All right. So can we all see the screen?
Yes, we can.
I.
Oh, yes, I can.
Okay. Yes, you can.
Yes, I can.
So fantastic. Fantastic. So we're going to be talking detail about this. All right. Sorry, I'm trying to bring in people that are coming late to this place. So since we can see the screen, strategic events is the ability to put together and organize programs that and put together interesting strategic events to excite your parents, to excite your staff, and use these events to generate new parents into your school. That's what we're going to be looking at tonight. We're going to be using these events. So if you have not picked one for this term, please, I'm going to give us numerous examples from this presentation. And if you have not picked one, if you think maybe for some of our schools, some of us are just resuming fully this week, is a good time. For some of our school that has resumed, you can still try it. For some of our schools that are yet to resume, I mean, that have gone so far, we feel we can try it. Just write the ones that catches your attention. Now, why do I talk about strategic events personally? Why do I talk about strategic events personally? I'll try to move to the next slide. So why do I talk about strategic events? Now, in marketing, there's something they call the value ladder. Value ladder, I want to just explain the concept of a value ladder to you. The value ladder means what are the things that you give to people as value to get them to do business with you. So if you see what is on the screen, there's like a ladder. It's like a staircase. So what are the things you show people? And I want to show you practical examples from general um, business points. I will use myself as an example. When I'm trying to grow anything, I look for what is that free thing I can give to someone. Please note what I'm saying. What is that free thing I can give to someone that somebody can say, this is of value. I love what I just saw and I would like to do business with this person. So if you see the white box here, you will see free strategic events, something free. So I look for what is that free thing. And this is why when people want to get into starting a school, you see them saying, register with us. You see some people saying, and we'll give you free uniform, we'll give you free free textbooks. I don't know if you have seen some of those adverts. They will say we are giving you free textbooks. We are giving you one free tuition, one term tuition free. They look for something free. Now, the disadvantage of that for a school is in marketing, once a concept becomes overused, once that concept becomes like so many people have used it, it will lose value. So if you say, I'm giving you free uniform, many people have used that concept in the past, and most of the time, even offering your core product for free cheapens you. So look for something that is of value that the person can get for free as a taster. And whenever I want to explain this concept, I always use the suya man. The suya man, the Hausa man, would welcome you into taking a taste of his suya, and from taking that taste of his suya, you are almost committed to say, you know what, let me buy from this person. So it's a simple marketing skill, but that commits people to want to buy from them. So what I'm telling you here is not to cheapen your products, because many people go doing that, where they cheapen their products by saying one term free. No, different things that people use. That's not what I'm talking about. Now, when it now comes to offering something, what is that taster that you are giving to parents that are not in your school yet? What is that taster you are giving to them? What is that suya cut you are showing to them for them to taste? Right now, as your school is going on, this is the time. That's why I'm having this live class with everyone. This is the time to start drawing that out. Every term that should be drawn out. And I've tested different products, and you will see it on the screen. I've tested different things, and I've seen the one that builds value the most, the ones that build value the most, the one that is the cut of suya, that if they can eat a part of that suya, they will rush the rest. I'm using some kind of what do they call this thing? I'm using some kind of illustrations here so that we can also get this thing better. So this is the cut of suya that you want to give to them. What is that cut of your value system that you want to give to them? I want to give you practical examples as I'm showing you in my business. This is the concept even my business is built on. When I want to get new people into our inner circle, I try to offer them to have a taste of the Blueprints program for free. And I took off the free Blueprints program and converted it to an offer. And actually, I got a lot of people in. When I want to get people to do consultation sessions with me, I first offer them a WhatsApp training for free. I give them a cut, a taste of what they will get. Once they taste it, I take off that taste and I make the offer to them. So for a school, this is the same thing that I call the value ladder of the school. So different examples of things I've worked with in the past in the white box, you will see a free strategic event, a free school video, a free school MP3, a free school brochure. Now, I've tested all those things. The ones that came out top the most is offering them a free strategic event. It means that in a term, I put together a strategic event that I can share invitations to, that I can get people to attend or get people to know about. And once people come for my strategic event, I get their contact details. I see that they see the value. Some of them will make decisions to register immediately. Some of them will make decisions to register a term after. Some of them will make decisions to register a session after. Now, the next level in the yellow box is the next value ladder, is for those that make a decision to register immediately. Those are the ones in the purple box that you can see on the screen. Good. I get repeated school fee payments, they fall in love. But there are some people that will not register immediately. What can I offer them? I can offer them summer school if I did my strategic event third term. I can offer them a special intervention class in a second term. I can offer them any other products that they can start with. For example, in a particular school, they have an ICT program that runs every Friday and Saturday and also runs during the holiday. That is a coding program that is apart from their school. So they offer them that service even if if you say, oh, I'm not registering now. And they offer them that service. There's a particular school owner, one of our partners that was talking to me, who is offering people now online school. So it gives them so many options, so many ways they can transact money with. But it gets them aware about their school by the strategic events he or she has put in place. Now, this is important. I hope we got this slide. So the value ladder is we are looking for that suya cuts. We are throwing out there something we want to send an invitation to. If I say don't use handbills, then you need something else. You need something else that gets people aware about your school. That is the power of the strategic events. And a color day does not do that for you. An umbrella day does not do that for you. I don't know, all those funny things. Fruit day does not do that for you. Are these things good? They are good. They are not. They are just events. They are not strategic in any way. I don't know how an umbrella day wants to showcase how unique your school is really. What does it take just to get an umbrella and show it in the rain and all of that? I'm talking about intellectually driven events. I'm going to give us series and series of examples. So get your pen, write the one that resonates with you, and as I come up with more based on my conversation with my clients and the one they are using, I will tell you more. Right. I want to move to the next slide. I hope we got this slide. Now, there are two types of events I talk about most of the time. There are two types of events. There's the one we are doing to, I call it student targeted events. These events showcases the potential of our students. We are targeting children. It showcases our children. Our children are the focus. Our children are the focus in these kinds of events. So is that we are showcasing our the uniqueness of our school through our children to get parents to also bring their own children, their neighbors' children to witness, so that, you know, if a parent is watching a child do something, the parents can say, wow, the parents can be proud of that, of his or her own child doing that thing, and tell other people that my child can do this, can yours do it? Or invite people to witness what our child can do. But our children are the focus. And these are the best form of marketing events for me. These are the best form of marketing events for me. Whatever I'm doing here is to get your school to grow at a fast pace. And doing this, I've seen it can add as much as 100 students to your school in a term. Worst case scenario, you can do it in a session. But it is to get your school down to enrollment fast. This is what I'm doing here. Now, according to statistics, growth comes, 90% of growth comes from parents and staff. Other ones you are doing to space does not hold water. Putting banners, putting handbill is good. It's good for your branding, but directly does not impact the growth of your school. That just accounts for 10%. Is one parent that is telling another about your school that really, really does grow the school. So there are two types of events. There's the one that is student targeted. There's the one that is parent targeted. I'm going to talk about both, but I'm going to spend more time on the student targeted events. And there are times that you do these events. You do them, one can be done during your school, your 12-week calendar. Others can be done during your holiday, depending on the type of events that resonates with you. And remember, these events are a function of what makes your school unique. So let's get into examples of some of these events. Let's get into examples of some of these events. So first of all, before we get in there, why do we do this strategic event? We want to raise awareness. What kills a school is people don't know what makes your school unique. They don't know. People do not know. We are shy to talk about how good we are. I'm not always shy. One of my strengths is to create write-ups. So I want to create write-ups every day to show how unique I am and keep showing that. So for a school, your event is your marketing channel to show how unique you are, to show how unique you are. It is very important. It gets your school out of obscurity. It gets your school known. And if done well, you can attract close to 600 potential students to witness how special your school is. Understand this. So what do I want you to take away from this Zoom class? I want you to take away something that you're going to pick an event that will be relevant for you this first term. You can pick an event that's relevant for you second term. You can pick an event that's relevant for you third term, depending on your uniqueness. All these events are strategic, they sound beautiful, but it's all depending on what makes your school unique. If you don't have the facility for that, pick something that is more relevant for you. I hope we get that. Right. So we're going to be focusing on student targeted events. All right. So let's get on it. Examples. Now, I have one that I call the leadership school. Remember, so some schools, this event is always is recommended for a third term timeouts. This event, a school that have their focus is to raise future leaders, must have a plan for raising future leaders. So these are events that can announce that uniqueness, where children are taken on a 3 to 5 day leadership school, 3 to 5 days leadership school. And this leadership school is focused on their uniqueness. So if a school says, we are trying to raise future leaders in our school, what are the things you have put in place to make sure that exists? So during third term holiday, I put together it could be a 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 5 day leadership school, where I now throughout the term, I'm inviting everybody, both our school members, to register for this leadership school. You could make it free. You could collect a token, but it might not just be too expensive. You register a 2 to 3 day leadership school. Then every attendee must fill a form, and that form is your mechanism to follow up with them. You need their details. You need the details of everybody. You need father's number, mother's number to be able to attend your leadership school. Then you can partner with your staff to invite people. You can partner with your parents to invite people. And you're talking about it. You teach and examine your participants, and you have a leadership school. Now, remember, I'm inviting people. If your focus is not leadership, because not every school has a skill to raise leaders. Everybody just says they're raising leaders. It's not just about saying it. It's about the things you put in place to make sure that goes on. So if your focus is not raising leaders, if your focus is raising leaders, you put together that. And during, like now, you are telling people about a leadership school coming up third term. Imagine telling people, informing everyone that there's a leadership school coming up and all our children should attend. And we want every child to also invite at least two friends from the church. The end game of that leadership school is to showcase that you are a school working hand in hand to raise leaders, not just saying it by mouth. So you have put together that 3-day leadership program. Students are invited from everywhere. This is not during your school term, remember? This is during holiday events. So invitations are sent out. You have made publications about it. This is more than a handbill. You just want to host them. If it's 1 day you can do, fine. Bring everybody together. Guess what? Everybody that comes to your school, first of all, will notice your school, notice how good your school is. The next thing is they will ask, how can I join this program? If this is what this school is built on, how can I join this program? So how can I join your school? So we're still going to get that in this 14-week partnership. How do you convert all these people you're inviting to your strategic events? How do you convert them to students? That's example number one. You can write that down if that works for you. Right. Let me move to the next slide. Let me move to the next slide. We are going. The next one is you can decide to host, and I've said this over and over again, a spelling bee competition. This is an event that can hold during your school term. This doesn't have to come during the holiday. So I can decide to host a spelling bee program. And I necessarily do not have to call it a spelling bee competition. I can decide to call it another name entirely. I said that in our presentation last week. So I decided to print out 50 to 100 new words per class. I give each student these words to learn and organize a day competition, bringing children of my school. These are outsiders. This is my school children together, but telling parents to come and witness what their children can do. And if possible, a parent can invite their friends to see. We want that friend to see what is possible if he or she decides to register a child in this school. This is what we call a strategic event. So all people participate in this. They see their children. When I say this, as simple as this spelling bee is, some schools cannot do it because they are not sure that their children will be able to showcase how unique they are. And I say it. If you can't boldly showcase how good your students are, then would you say you are running a standard school? It is quite important for us to note. So it's good for a primary school, and we give rewards to all winners. But we want to go home with all the parents having a wow effect of what our children can do. What our children can do. I hope I'm communicating. This is strategic event type number 2. I want to move fast. Please write the things and ideas you are getting down. The third strategic event here is the Mathematics Brain Builder or Mathopedia. Mathopedia is just designed like, the Cowbellpedia, where you get e-learning tools on mathematics. If your desire is to raise math genius or math geniuses, you get e-learning tools on mathematics. Then watch different ways to ask mathematics related quiz questions for different classes. Now have a competition around it per class and have a winner emerge. Invite people to witness these things. These are strategic, value-driven events. These events, I've seen it done by a secondary school, and I mentioned it, and that secondary school added close to 200 students in a session of organizing the Mathopedia. So it is very important for us to do things that announces what makes us unique. Frivolities should not be our focus. Our focus is to advertise what makes us unique. Our focus is to advertise what makes us unique. So we get tools that helps us, and we partner with our staff so that once we can organize that mathematics event and we have found out a way. So if it's mathematics we are focusing on, we found out a way to do it. Hold on, please. Please hold on. I'm getting distracted here. Sorry for that, please. So, yeah. So I organize uh, a, uh, a mathematics related program. If that is my focus, if that's what I love to work with numbers, then call your teachers that I want us to organize a mathematics related event that advertises that our school is unique in math. I will tell you in this video, I don't like math. I would never do that if I have a school. They will teach maths normally. I want them to teach maths normally, but I don't have an idea of how that we go. But I've seen schools that say that is their interest. That's what they like to represent. If that is your interest, you pick it out and say, this is what I want these children to achieve. So I project that one thing to the parents. Now, another example that we're going to look at now is, okay, I've talked about the spelling bee competition, which could be a spellodrome or master spelling bee. I've talked about this. Is what I call the word festival or the word show. Now, some schools are very strong with words. They like their children to be asked to be good with words. So I group each class and organize activities that make them showcases their intelligence with words. So it could be, depending on the level of each class, it could be a school that did this perfectly is a school in Ogba. Flora School, yes, in Ogba, Mrs. Tosin Ojomo. They put together a word festival. She loves words. So each class had a particular thing. So basic 6 could have debates, basic 5 could have synonyms, basic 4 could have antonyms, basic 2 could have words and meaning. A class could have words and opposites. So they want to show how astute. So they now multiply the numbers where the question comes in, what is the synonym for this? What is the synonym for this? And children were demonstrating their power they had with words. I attended events myself and all the parents were wowed. So what am I saying in essence is that that school took something they are unique at and showcased it to their parents. This is not color day. This is not fruit day. This is something that is unique to their parents. This is something that is unique to their parents. Right? The next thing is the next strategic events that you can decide to be a part of is what I call the Creative Arts Expo. Now, for a school that their interest is on creative arts, it is good. This is good for a school that is creativity inclined. A school that is not creativity inclined has no business doing this. There's no need to say you want to do 5. Just pick the one that piques your interest. Pick an art project for each class, an art project for each of the class done with the teacher, and pick a day where a presentation of this art project will be made to all the parents. You know, they just like children make their presentation, they make presentation for each class. Each of them can talk and they showcase their artwork, then auction these art materials to be bought by the parents. Can get parents judges. It's very important. I think I put it in some of that slides where parents are seated in front to be able to say, oh, this is what they like, this is one they like best, and there's a winner for the particular class, and bring parents to see what the children can do. So if a school has interest in arts or a school owner has interest in arts, organize something that announces that interest to everybody else. This differentiates you from another. If you have handbills, good for you. But this differentiates you from another school whose interest might not be in arts. And if that is your creative art expo, and you will notice something about these events, you will not see art day, something day. Remember in marketing, when something is overused, run away from it. When you are seeing something day, something day, something day, it useless if there's any English like that. The uniqueness of that thing. Never use what everybody uses. Please, online summits, I will never call my business, my whatever I'm doing online, so I'll never call my clients. I will never call them clients or customers. I will find a word for myself. It's very, very important. So you will see I've tried to represent it here. I'm not saying arts creativity day or something. Said creative art expo. You can take these words and mix them around. So this is for somebody who has an interest in arts. Please, as I'm talking, also write your questions down so that I will be able to take it, because by next week, you should have picked an event. Because the next thing we'll be doing by next week is, what do we now do with each of these events as regards marketing? So that's one example, Creative Art Expo. I'm going to the next slide. International Trade Expose. This is unique to a uniqueness, that builds exposure. Pick a country and study their culture and currency. Group each child in a class to showcase this culture. You can talk about, so I can decide to divide our classes and groups into international countries. So I can say this class is China, this class is Cote d'Ivoire, this class is France, this class is this. And I'm having, so a school that wants the parent to have want the parent to have an international, want the children to have an international kind of experience, who is not just about the uniqueness of selling something, is the uniqueness of representing class. Exactly. So they talk about the currency, they talk about the mineral resources in this country, they make a sample, they can even make a sample print of the nation's currency, then they can buy things in their class. So let's say I buy clothing materials, I just buy things in their class and auction it to parents, but you are going to buy it at the value of that country's currency in the class. So if you come and we all have our international trade, after we have talked, after we have made the presentation, each class has made a presentation about this country, then we'll finish it with a trade session. What will be that trade session? If it's biscuits, whatever we'll put in the class to auction, if the biscuits cost 1,000 naira, for example, they are going to pay me the value of the country's, maybe China is yen. So how much is 1,000 naira in China's currency? Let's say it's 50 yen. So you are paying me 50 yen. So we are going to do that. So children will be able to know the conversions of international currency and all of that. So if a parent comes to this class, he knows the value of naira to yen, the value of naira to this, the value of naira to, the euros and all of that, depending. That is a unique event. It represents something different. The parent is going to go home educated. The parent is going to go home challenged. So if this is not syncing with your kind of audience, this is why we are going through so many events, so many strategic events that can advertise the uniqueness of your school. So if a school is built and has uniqueness and has a classy parents, this is very good for them. It gives them an idea. Imagine a parent has opportunity to be, maybe I'm making a visit to China by next 3 weeks, and I attend an event and I have so much expose about China, about their trades, about their culture, about their mineral resources, about their GDP, and I have opportunity to trade. It educates me. I'm alive. So this might not be relevant to everyone, but it's relevant to a group of parents, all right? And wow your parents with this kind of events. Another strategic event that we could look at is what I call the story parade. The story parade is good if your school is focused on public speaking as a unique feature. If your school is focused on public speaking as a unique feature, or elocution, as the case may be. You see some school owners, they will say, I want my child to speak confidently. I want my child to be able to do this. Those things are just how will I put it, just having desires. They need to be structured into our school. So that it's not just be a mouth kind of thing. We can be able to structure it. So the story parade, each child can have a storybook at the beginning of the term given to them. Each child, not each class, each child in a class can have a storybook given to them. Everybody has that. And the assignment will be they read, they summarize it. There will be a day where we are going to have judges sit down, and each child will just tell the story they read in the book. I'm going to award them based on the parameters: best storytellers, people that spoke well. Just have some parameters to be able to give one of the best storytellers of the day. Give a prize to each child that tells the story in the most interesting way. That's another example of strategic events. Another example of strategic event is what I call the intelligentsia. The intelligentsia is good if creativity is your strong point. If creativity is your strong point. If creativity is your strong point, we have schools that they like their children to be very creative. So I can give survey to parents to ask them the area of their child's intelligence. And I just make parents just tell me, what is this child? What do you notice the child is good at? And even from a little age, parents will tell you, the child loves listening to this, the child loves drumming, the child loves doing this. Then we'll have a day where all these kids will represent this intelligence to everyone. So let me say my child's intelligence in the ability to play the piano. So I bring a piano to the stage, I play that piano, people see it, and they love it, and you give a prize to the child who has the most round of applause or who has the most number of judges votes and all of that. It just gives opportunity for children to represent their intelligence. So another child's intelligence could just be reading a poem. Another child's intelligence could be in taekwondo. Another child's intelligence could be in uh, speaking. So we ask questions, find out what is your intelligence, what are you good at, what you like to do, and that brings their intelligence out. Right. Another unique event is what I call the science flash. The science flash is like a science exhibition. I try to avoid the word exhibition, so that I call it the science flash. It's like an exhibition where the uniqueness you are promoting, let's say your school is science focused, is that your children are science oriented, they are science brilliant. So this is possible through the presentation of science related things. So what we do is you can group each class to present inventors in science practicals, to the things that have been invented in science or homemade science experiments. All your efforts are just designed around science. So it could be science, it could be as little as uh, uh, Thomas Edison invented the light bulb, blah, 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 invented this. It could be as little as rote reading, could be as little as practicals, it could be as, complicated as presenting different inventors and their inventions. This is an example. Then you grade the winners. Now, all these strategic events, once you have picked them, remember the point is to drive traffic to see what your children are good at in your school. That's an example. Another example is the creativity switch. If your uniqueness promotes creativity again, this supports handmade creativity. So each class can be grouped to create something. Handmade creativity could be making of beads, to making of robots, to making of wool materials, or any other handmade creativity. And each child can showcase these creativities and talk about it to parents. Right. Another strategic event I've seen, if I saw this done in Kari School, Magodo, is what I call the animal circle, where each class, have a presentation on different animal kingdoms. So this class can be talking on the lion family. This child can be talking on the tiger family. This class can be talking on the mouse family. It is also oriented when the school is science oriented, and wants the owner of the school wants a kind of science oriented students. So they get costumes, they wear costumes, their animal costumes, their animal teddy bears, let me put it that way. That so students bring those animals, they come there and they talk about the animals, they talk about it, and they demonstrate those things the animals can do. Maybe the behaviors of the animal, the sound of the animal, they do that. So each class can be grouped, and each of those class are scored based on their presentation. Remember, your parents are there. There are judges that can say, oh, we like your presentation, we like this presentation. You score them, and parents are there to witness this. Okay. So another creative event is what I call the Sea School. Now, this is related to the animal circle, but it's just focused on sea animals, where children can represent different sea animal groups, from the shark to the whale to the fishes to the oysters, and they talk about this, right? Now, another unique event is if your school is IT oriented, where in your school there are things like robotics, coding, and all. So children are given projects per class. So in nursery one, projects could be as little as typing your name. Let me put it that way. Project, it can grow from that to coding or showing an animation that you have drawn, showing something you have made. So they showcase different things that they have been able to do using their knowledge of IT. It could be as little as even opening a YouTube channel. It could be as little as opening an email. They are divided into groups and they work on a particular project. So if this is something that makes your school unique, you show them. So if it's all about coding, can talk about companies in Nigeria that are run by coders, can talk about the importance of coding. Then we can show examples of what our children have done with coding. We can talk about softwares that have been used to code, and we can showcase our children how they did their coding, explaining it to them. We can even take parents on a session on how to code. This is an example of something strategic that you're pushing out there, right? So another strategic events that we can also look at is the talent expression. I was with a school and I asked the school owner, what would you like your children to, what would you like your children to represent? She said she likes a school where children can actually demonstrate and display their talents. I said, okay, that was good. So they organized what we call the talent expression. So this is majorly focused on talents with gift discoveries. It's good for a secondary level where children will come and show their singing talent, dancing talent, whatever talent they have. And there are judges who judge them based on a particular parameter, score them and say, this is where they need to improve and all of that. So this is an example. The school did it, they pulled it up, that's what they wanted to do. So if I had a school, personally, if it's my own school, I'm not a talent person. I have my own bias. So, but that's what the school felt, that's what the owner felt she could do. So she did that. Now, during their end of session party is laden with talent expressions from somebody who can do the secondary school did it, then the primary school did it at the school, yeah. From dancing Indian dance to what's the name of this thing they do at marriages? Ewi, to different talent expressions. In fact, it was by the end of that program. She told me about a parent that withdrew her 4 children from an ICT coding kind of school to that school because that's the value system of that parent. She enjoyed that more than being a child in the ICT. So, I mean, birds of the same feather will always flock together. So that is the beauty of it. She because that's what she does. She goes out, that's what she does, and it helped her attract a lot of people like that. So all children make presentation based on their talent, based on what they are good at, and it's always showcased in their events. Right. Okay. Now, another strategic event is what I call the SIC, the Special Intervention Class. The Special Intervention Class. What is it all about? The Special Intervention Class is not a strategic event per se, but is a strategic program that is built into your second term holiday, where the focus is to make bigger your strategic, what makes your school unique. So let me say my uniqueness is in ICT. I love to teach children all about ICT. I love them to know how to use the internet, how to build applications. That is my uniqueness. Apart from that, or my uniqueness is making children read at a particular age. So at that point in time, I could have a special intervention class for a week or 2 weeks, or my uniqueness is in music, or my uniqueness is in arts, or my uniqueness is in public speaking, or my uniqueness is in elocution. So I could start talking about something that's going to happen during second term holiday for 1 week. Second term holiday is an holiday that there's no activity. And I extend invitation for people to be a part of this. For 1 week, you learn elocution. If you are not good, I'm just going to focus on our uniqueness for that 1 week, and we send invites all over. So it could be reading, it could be coding, it could be ICT, it could be dance, it could be music, it could be mathematics, it could be ballet. And you can decide to even charge a token for this. I've seen this work very well. Second term holiday, right? Woo. Now, another unique event focused on leadership. This is not a fully unique event per se. Is I have children grouped and I build content around leadership. If my desire is to have them raise future leaders and all of that, so I build content around leadership. And so there will be a day where we're talking about leadership, a leadership showcase. Let me put it together. So we have a leadership day, but I won't call it leadership day. I call it leadership showcase, where we're going to show the importance of leadership. So we build content around leadership. The content can include examples, 21 examples of great leaders, 21 examples of bad leaders. It could be that. It could be showing or acting what it means to be a bad leader, what it means to be a good leader. It could be acting that. It could be having projects or making presentation on historical leadership figures in Nigeria or Africa or way beyond. There's another event, I don't know if it's part of this or if I wrote it here, where projects could also be given per class, where we just tell them in this class, we want you to do something on leadership. So you can tell this class to to bring storybooks for the less privileged. You can tell this class that we're going to be visiting a motherless baby's home. You can tell this class to, do something that has to do with leadership. So a project is given to each class, and on this leadership day, they talk about how they enjoyed it, what was the experience, and all of that. So it showcases leadership. It showcases what they did, what it means to be a future leader. So content is built around leadership, where during the term people are already have been divided into groups, and projects have been given to them, and presentations has been given to them. So during the term, they are going out, they are doing the visits, they are giving out storybooks, they are handing out things to the poor, they are doing things that makes them experience goodwill. Then they come on your leadership showcase day and talk about examples of bad leadership, examples of good leadership, act out what bad leadership is, act out what good leadership is, then talk about their project and what they did during the term. This is an example. This is a strategic event. So a school that says, I want to raise future leaders, is doing things that make sure that happens, right? Okay, a school that their focus is on diction, children wants to speak diction and elocution, a school that their focus is on that does this, does this. Means if elocution is your uniqueness, you create events that will help represent elocution. So to create a day where there will be elocution display, in my speech presentation, to reading of news, to drama presentation, and to other related elocution activities that will make my children's elocution come out. It means to that will make them, you know, if you say good morning, how you doing today? My name is this, and I want to read the news. I don't, if that is your uniqueness that is represented. There is a school in, I don't know that area. I went there. It's close to Oshodi, and our focus was elocution. And in fact, it's a diction. Apart from being owning a school and doing diction in our school, training our children, all our children and teachers must speak diction compulsorily. We also consult for so many other schools. So in our strategic events, make sure there's a one event she does that children will represent that. And in one of our news reading, one of our child did news reading, said he captured close to 33 enrollments for her that particular term. So that's what makes her unique. That's what makes her stand out. There's no point trying to do ICT when you have this. ICT is good, but you need to do something you can maintain, you can continue. That is that you can build a system around. So if you don't have the funds to buy laptops, the funds to buy Android, or the parents that would, you know, want to who are readily available to say they want to buy a laptop, but diction is something that you are interested to build your uniqueness around. Come on now, we take that diction, build the uniqueness around it, you know, and on that day they have an elocution. We select judges to score them based on some criteria, and we record great presenters, right? Okay, I don't know what the numbers we are in. So another uniqueness to somebody who is interested in teaching children how uh, to, to introduce them to become great business leaders. I've seen a school owner that said that the children of nowadays, you know, we must train them to not just seek for jobs, but to be business enthusiasts. That's good. So create content around businesses during the term. You know, the content will include excursions to shopping malls to learn about transactions. So, you know, they can make product themselves or buy product. Then you have a day exhibition, yes, or how would I call it? A day, how do they call this thing? I wrote exhibition here, but exhibition is not the right word. A day, uh, uh, God, when they make a bid for it, that's what I'm trying to remember. When they make a bid for it, so where parents come, you know, and they try to sell this, and appoint judges to rate their selling skills, or we tell these children to come and sell, you know, sell this particular thing to us. Let us see, you know, and they rate it. So you can just build your content around that. This is an example. All right, yes, vocabulary arena. If you are also particular about words, this is an example, can create a live test around words for each class. Children can be asked, this is the questions. What are the synonyms of? What are the antonyms of? What is the meaning of? Spell this. Apart from these three-letter words, what other three-letter words do you know and can you spell? Complete these words. Let's say I'm trying to complete just the things you have in the English text. Trying to complete tempo. T-E dash P dash E. What is that word? T-E dash P dash E. So they go around words. They present different words. That's vocabulary arena. So we can say for upper classes, we can say the word Stand. What are the three synonyms for the word stand? Or fill in this gap for the three synonyms for the word stand. First of all, U dash R I A G dash T. What is that word? It's a synonym for stand. What is that word? U dash, and you like that, and they complete the word and say, oh, upright, correct, and you move to that. So it tests their vocabulary. They will have practiced all these things, and they just showcase how good they are with words. All right. Heritage show off. This is a packaged cultural day. I don't call it cultural day, I call it heritage show off, where children are divided, their class is divided into cultural groups, and they turn their classes, their classroom to information center about different cultures. So if you go to basic one class, it's all about the Edo culture. Basic two class is all about the Igbo culture. Basic three class is all about the Benue culture. Basic four class is all about the Yoruba culture. Basic five class is all about, so in their class, there's a demonstration of the cultures, their food, their clothes, their obas, their history, and the children make presentations right in the class. At the end of the day, all the classes come together to now, make one or two presentations to the parents. It could be a dance, could be a song rendition, but the intellectual presentation takes place in the class. Parents go through the class, and I've seen a couple of schools do this very well. In fact, there's another thing I didn't add. There was an agricultural day I saw in a school, JNEC school, and that school basic six parents, so that because it was a competition, they are going to pick an agricultural product and explain around it and all of that, and each class is going to demonstrate that. So if I'm picking cash crops, if I'm picking vegetables and all of that, so the particular class pick a topic on animals, maybe I've forgotten, dairy animals or something. And that class was so motivated because they wanted to win, they bought a cow to make a live presentation. Would you believe that? The parent of that class bought a cow to make a live presentation. No parent that came to that event went home the same. Everybody wanted to be a part of that kind of atmosphere. So that's an example. That's an agricultural day that somebody created a content round. So Heritage Day is something similar where presentation are made in each class. So it is very important. As I said, if you can do one in a session, it's fine. If you can do one every term, it's fine. But the point is, you can't go, your school can't go throughout a term, a year, without having something unique to show off. So this is an heritage show off. Okay. Sports festival. See, schools, we say they don't have the capacity to do entire sports, but the school owner is interested in what you call physical activity for the children. Could organize a sports festival. Sports festival, if physical activity is part of your uniqueness, divide children into the normal specific houses. That's just like you do in your entire sports, and then let them carry out in-house sporting games like sitting on the balloon, like picking the ball, like bag running, like egg race, like cup arrangement on the table, like spoon flipping, pencil flipping, and you award the best house a specific gift. So there's activity going on even in the school. Bring people in, everything is in-house, everything is done in-house, and people see what you do. These things, if physical activity is part of your uniqueness, and you can't do entire sport on a big scale, and you want to do it in-house, this is an example, right? If you have questions, just write it down. Another one is what I call arts fair. The art fair is something that has to do with strictly arts. So look for art projects and divide it to your classes or groups. Art projects could include tie and dye, building of tree houses, construction of paper mache. Gather parents together to witness the unveiling of this art project and how the children went through to make this art project work. Then give the arts best art project a special gift. Okay. Another example is the community day. Okay, I use day here. It's a community day. If your uniqueness is also about leadership and social awareness, divide each class into groups. These groups could be community groups from, okay, this is one I was talking about that talks about leadership too. Yeah, this is the one I'm talking about. So these community groups could involve social class or be involved in police police visits, visiting of the police station. Social class will be going to the motherless baby. Social class will be going to the center of traffic control. Social class will be visiting traditional rulers in this area. Social class will be involved in stocking public libraries. Social class, will visit traditional rulers and all of that. So it's a community day where children interact with the outside world, and they have a day where representative of each places they have visited could come to your school, and they show parents in pictures. You snap pictures with these people. They show parents in pictures how they celebrated the community day in the school, and the parents obviously will also be judges to say the group that had the best community day representation. All right. Jolly readers, this is good for your little angels, for your start right kids. This can be designed for 5 years and below students. Get a screen. Maybe your school, you're seeing crèche. Get a screen in front of your parents. It could be your flat screen TV connected to your laptop through HDMI or through a VGA cord, and get a screen in front of the children. Display words they can read. Point to it, let them sound it, and let them sound it out just like they do in their activities in class, where they're introducing their jollyphonic sound, SAIT, or something, and how they now combine those words, oh, koi, and all of that, and they put it in front of them and let them sound it in the presence of their parents, make them read it in front of their attendants, and wow your parents. Now, for the little class, you need to just give all of them. You need to give all of them a special gift for participating. You need to encourage them for participating. So I call it the jolly readers, right? Okay. The next one is rhyming. Just like that, pick a day for your nursery, pick a different rhyme for them to sing, ask them to sing in front of parents, give all the learners a special gift for participating. Now, this is for people that just have there's some schools that are just 5 years and below, and they always ask, what can they do? So, another one is the Inventors Hub. The Inventors Hub. Wow. Give each class or group a special inventing project. Go to YouTube and get little inventors idea. This could be from building a simple machine to constructing things with wires. Let each class showcase what they invented in that particular term, in that particular session. Get judges to score them and give the best inventing class a particular gift. If you understand what I just said. Okay, that's the inventors. I think I see a few left. The musicals, exactly. Your school uniqueness is in music. Have a day musical. Get children to present and play instrument they are good at. This can be done from individual talent presentation on music to an orchestral presentation. Invite people to witness. Now, okay, theatricals. Theatricals is about drama. If presentation, eloquence, and confidence is part of your uniqueness, group children or give children in classes drama presentations and let them demonstrate that drama, because they are selling your eloquence, they are selling your confidence, and they are selling this as their uniqueness. Let's let them act well in front of the audience. Let judges score them by some parameters. In fact, if you do your drama day well, it could even be done in such a way that people pay a token to buy tickets to get it. So they pay a token, you convince parents to bring their friends to pay a token. It could be 1,000, 5. I saw a school that did this for 10K, 10,000 naira. They're theatricals. 10,000 naira for entry. And people paid. They had 120 attendance. It's kind of funny. Some ideas school play with. I'm like, wow, this is beautiful. So this is an example. If your uniqueness is in presentation, eloquence, confidence, having children who can stand in front of audience confidently. Now, depending on the level you are in, there's some things you can do now. There's some things you can just say for later. But these are events that I've put there. Another one is what they call lingo timeouts. Is like a language day. If you focus on languages, this is your plug. Have students divided into groups or classes. You can either focus on Nigerian languages, African languages, or international languages. Let the children make at least 3 presentations in any language assigned to their group, from speech to drama to new songs to preaching to teaching. And obviously, this should come with interpretation. So if your focus is Nigerian language for this session, let children make presentations in that language. If it's African language, maybe Ghanaian, Togo, French is an African, is spoken by African countries, Francophone countries, English, South African, and just teach them bits and pieces of things that are related to their speech, their drama. Now, wow. I wish I could demonstrate this. On Google, there is a language translator that can translate your English to a particular language. So it helps. Now, let us focus on this. Let me digress. So what I'm saying is, from speech, from all those presentations will be translated. So it's like a language day where you're talking about different languages, because your school is built on languages and your uniqueness on languages and all of that. And appoint judges to give the best score to school, to the best group. Okay, that brings me to the end. I think I've just read 30 strategic events that you can play around with, and guess how many you need to grow your school? Just one. Just one event that you get right is fine. Just one out of these 30 that you get right is very fine. Pick an event that is unique to you and showcases your strengths. Now, the next type of strategic event, I've spent close to 1 hour, 10 minutes here. The next type of strategic events is the parent targeted events. The parent targeted events are the ones, like I will tell you, these are the money spinning ones. And if you want to do it good, I've recommended the students, they are the one that generate faster a result, but you can still do the parent one. The parent targeted events are built. There's no detailed example. So you can have a Mother's Day special, a Father's Day special, a parent ambassador nights, a spa day, a teacher's day where parents come to teach you, a proprietress day where one of the parents can, stand in the role of a proprietress for a day. A family creativity day where each family are given what can they present to us as a family. So each family of the school, they are given a specific thing. So you give a form out to say, guys, each family want you to make a presentation on this family creativity day. So if your family can present music, speak, dance, just speak. So you list out the things they can do and what they should pick, what they're interested in. So everybody comes together as a family and they make that presentation. So these ones are just parent targeted, but my focus today is to focus on student targeted events. So for tonight, I will stop here and open room for questions. open room for questions. So you can unmute yourself and ask questions.
Good evening, Coach. Good evening, Mr. Ituno.
Yes, good evening, ma.
Yes, well done. Thank you very much. This is an eye-opening. No, I've registered before, and I want to say a very big thank you for your consistency. Yes, it's rare to have someone who is this consistent with this kind of a program. So, my question is: there are some of these programs, just as you have mentioned, we can tweak them and make them relevant to our own system. But I do not have, I couldn't write out all the suggested strategic events. So please, are we going to have a list of them? Is
Are you
it
going to have
possible?
Okay, what I would do is that this segment of the PowerPoint presentation, I will make them available as a downloadable PDF format. It will be underneath this, because this video will be uploaded into our 14-week review, because for people that would like to go over this video again. So underneath, I'll make it as a downloadable document so that you can go through it again. Answer your question. Mrs. Fumilayo Adeli. Okay.
Thank you very much. I sent it as a chat. Thank you very much.
All right.
It's okay.
Okay. All right. Any other question? I'm waiting. Question? I thought somebody wanted to talk now.
Yeah, thank you very much, Coach.
Yes, ma'am.
It's so interesting and very, very inspiring to listen to all this. I'm just looking at, honestly, I would have loved to just kick the ground running right away with this. But I'm looking at this particular term. If we are not able to do anything this term, what I'm saying that is the shortness of the term because of the delay in resumption.
Yeah.
And the time it also takes to make preparations. Would it be a good idea to take this time as time to prepare and then launch out for the next term? Actually, some of these events, even though we didn't call these strategic events, some of them are events that we have put out during our graduations, like that. I remember when we had one graduation, we did a cultural show. We even brought in Atilugu dancers to train our pupils. And I can remember vividly that day, it was really wow. Many parents were just, making inquiry, and we had quite a few admission newcomers for that event. But it was not really, we didn't know strategic, I didn't have that idea, but it was just a package of the graduation ceremony.
Okay. Okay. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, all right. Now, the first question about the shortness of the term. Yes, I understand that the term is short, but we're going through this extensively so that even like I said at the beginning, if you can achieve it this term, we can achieve it next time. Then it will also be good for this particular video segment to also share it with your key officers that can also, fly along with you on it, so that,
Definitely.
yeah, so that. And number two, for most of the time, schools wait till enrollment season and put everything in their end of session party. That's number one. And at that time, that's why we say first term. The time to start talking about enrollment is first term. To start
Yeah.
trying out some of these events that makes you unique is first term. And
Mm.
if what your plan for the school is to raise children that maybe they have body kinesthetics, body intelligence, and all of that, it is good you are consistent with that particular thing you are doing. Consistency is key. It's part of the 5 secrets. The last word is
Mm.
consistency. So if I'm trying to achieve that is something, so it's like I will always create content around my uniqueness. So if you want people to know the school for that, it is also a good thing. Now, maybe after you did it the first time, a lot of people got into your school, they loved it. At that point, you got many inquiries. Some people. Now we are still going to talk about other things because it's not just strategic events that we do that will change all those things. There are other things we are going to be talking. Next week Friday we'll focus on another thing. Next week Friday, upper Friday we'll focus on another thing, on things to do after you have done your strategic events. So maybe after that, I don't know if you did it after that again, if the expectations that made some people attracted to your school was met after that again. That's why I always talk about
Okay.
consistency in picking something
Mm.
that you know that makes your school unique and doing it in different forms and different formats. So basically, those are my answers to both questions.
Yes, actually, everything, it's like maybe we just made it part of program for every graduation.
Love.
We always do, only this last one now, we didn't have graduation at all. But every time we improve on it, it's usually one thing that is special in all our graduation. But well, I didn't know, in fact, it would have been better to use it as strategic event
Mm,
at one point. Even other things that we do during graduation, there are a lot of them there. Some of them you have mentioned tonight, and just going to take time to dissect them, separate them, and see how we can use them uh, for strategic events as when we really narrow down,
mm,
because the uniqueness is still, there are a few things like me in my mind. I love creativity. I love children having skill. So we've always put our content around those things for our events,
love
but
it.
we really didn't look at it as strategic event.
Okay. Yeah.
Even when we did like you always say, it's not a flower day or whatever day, but when we did um uh, uh professional day, that is a career day kind of. Perhaps we couldn't have called it career day. We could have just uh, found a way if I knew this then. But the career day was very unique too. And it's not the only one. There are, you know, many of them like that. Even cooking, we showcase our children to know how to cook, to display different skills. So I'm just trying to look at. I will narrow down somehow to
Yeah,
see what.
it's actually
Yes.
good. As you have a good, uh, like you said, you do some of these strategic events. So what we're going to do, I think we still have one-on-one personal consultation. There's some
Yes.
personal questions that we ask because if you
Yeah.
are doing that to create awareness, so in the next series of videos, I'm going to be looking at now that you're doing your strategic events, how do you use that as a tool
Mhm.
to advertise your school? But I wanted to make sure that is on ground. But in our personal consultation, because apart from that, there are so many other things. For example, staff morale. There are so many other things that I'm gonna ask to be able to figure out. Okay, when you did this, how did it generate results and all of that? So I'll be able to understand that situation more
Okay.
specifically, right? I think we have a call session for Wednesday,
Tuesday.
Tuesday, 11. Yes,
Tuesday.
yes.
Thank you.
So basically, but you know, this is the second week. We're still going to follow up as we go on the things you have to do.
Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate.
All right, man. You're welcome. Okay. Any other question? Any other question? Let me check the chat. I'm seeing questions. Okay, somebody asked, how do I get a follow-up? Yeah, please just wait for me. I will download it. It takes time. I will download the follow-up tonight. Try to upload it. After I leave here, I'm going for a prayer program tonight. So I have to do that when I get back tomorrow. Then I will upload it on the web, on my website. Then we'll have access to the video. Then we download this particular document that we have just used. It's for our use only because we are professional partners. Then you can also go through it and have your questions for our next meeting next Friday. We'll be talking about another thing entirely because each session builds on the other. So, Mr. Ahmed Olatunji, I think I've been able to answer that your question. If you can answer the question you can also write it in the chat. So we have, I said 1 hour 30 minutes. So it is 9:32. So the remaining questions can be dropped on the group and I will be able to answer you. Thank you very much for staying through for this. See you next week, Friday by 8 p.m. God bless you. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Good night and thanks a lot.
Yes.
Good night, everyone. God bless you.
Yeah.
Good night, all. Have a
Good
blessed
night, all.
Okay. Bye.
Good night, all. Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Good night, everyone.
Okay.